Success and happiness are two things that all of us strive for. Many successful people are very unhappy. So, what is it that we all can do to ensure that we are successful and happy? In my journey of having spent over 4 decades on this planet, what I realized is that happiness comes when you define success in your own terms, when you achieve it in your own terms, right? That's the key. The definition of success, as long as it's defined by oneself, depending on what one likes, is what brings true happiness. I was born in a small town called Ranchi and received a very large hearted support from my family, with a lot of emphasis on the middle class values of getting the right education, working hard, working with integrity, doing things not just for self but for others. And that led me to lead a life which in my terms was extremely happy, very successful, very satisfied. And I did that till the time I was in college, and there was a feeling of emptiness. I realized that there's so much people in the world are doing and I'm not doing enough. I felt that I was not successful because I was judging myself on the parameters of success that had been defined by society, that had been defined by others. I decided to become an entrepreneur. Did that for 2 years. So at the age of 19, I became an entrepreneur, and then at the age of 21, I quit being an entrepreneur. What drove that? It was the realization that what I was doing was something that I was enjoying, but it was not truly letting me reach my full potential. And that's when the offer of joining an MBA program from one of the top institutes in the world came through, I decided that I'm going to give up this entrepreneurship. I'm just going to take that leap in the unknown. I was ecstatic. I was so happy that I had made it there. I was on top of the world. And then I arrived on campus. And guess what? I became super unhappy. Why? Because I started measuring my success based on others' yardstick. Oh, that person is a national level badminton champion. Oh, she's an international Kathak dancer. Oh, he's an Aditya Birla scholar. These were the achievements of others. That's how they had defined their success. And suddenly, from top of the world, I came crashing down because my definition of success became defined by what others saw it as. It took me a while to gather my wits together and realize that, I have to change the narrative for myself. It took hard work. It took a lot of heartburn as well, right? Talking to multiple people, going through that tough journey of loneliness, trying to find my own place in the world. At the time, as part of an MBA, the coveted job was that of going in as a consultant for one of the either the big names in consulting the international brands, or getting a day zero placement. Did I get that? I didn't. And suddenly I started feeling again, am I not successful? Is my life meaningless? Taking a step back then, I decided to rewrite my success story. I did introspection. Took a lot of time to think about what's important to me, what brings me joy, what makes me happy. And it was not just getting a good job, getting a well-paying, getting a check at the end of the day of the month, going back home and flaunting that I've got this car, I've got this big bungalow. No, it was something much more than that. It was being able to make a difference to the world, and I decided to start on that path. A decade working as a professional, having a well-paying job, all the trappings of society that one needs to get that prestige, that status. And suddenly I was very restless. I was actually unhappy. And again, it was time to introspect. What is it that I need to do to, make myself happy? All my friends, my peers, society thinks I'm highly successful. And that's when I realized I had again lost touch with what was my definition of success. That's the day I realized that as one evolves, their definition of success needs to change. It's not static, it's something that constantly changes. The circumstances change, the internal build up changes, your mind changes, and that's the effort we need to put in ourselves. Every day, every week, every month, over the years, consistently. I decided to go back to entrepreneurship. And guess what? The first time I was a successful entrepreneur, the second time I was a failed entrepreneur. But I was a happy entrepreneur because I had tried out the idea that I had in my mind. I had given it all that I wanted to, and I knew that this was something that I wanted to try. I had the latitude to do it, and still I failed, but I was happy because I had the chance to do what I wanted to do. And that's the day I realized that, this definition of success, as long as it's written by me, it's true. Today, for entrepreneurs, the general measure of success is valuation. Are you a unicorn founder? Have you raised your next round of $1 million funding? Do you think you're going to get a $1 billion exit? There are 108 unicorns in India, and there are over 70,000 startups registered under DPIIT. Is everybody else successful or unsuccessful? Who am I to judge? Who are we to judge? It's up to the entrepreneur to decide. Are they able to create the change in the world that they had set out to do in the first place? Any entrepreneur which starts out thinking that I'm going to build a $1 billion company has started on the wrong foot. Any entrepreneur which starts out by saying that I'm going to change the world by making this one small difference is already set up for success. That's what we need. We need to internalize what's important to us, how we want to shape the world, what is our contribution to society, and if we are able to move the needle on that even slightly, that's where we've become successful. And that's when happiness comes to you. It's a tough journey, no doubt, but take all the help. I took a lot of help from my friends, from my well-wishers, took their thoughts, but at the end of the day, it's a narrative that one writes for themselves. So my friends, my gift to you today is have the courage to define success in your words. Have the courage to change the narrative as you progress in life. And if today it doesn't happen, that's fine. As the song we heard just said, Allah ke bande haste ki kal fir aayega. There's always a fresh beginning, there's always a new tomorrow. So take that courage, define your own success story, and khushiyan aapke kadam chumegi. Thank you.